Pumpkin Cheesecake Day. Are you excited? Because I am. Hi, welcome to Cake Mom. I'm Abby, this is Emery, and over there's Aaliyah. And on this channel, I share with you guys some of my favorite tips and techniques, as well as recipes, to help you with your home baking projects. And if you're new, please consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell so you can see when we post our next video. Today is exciting because it is Pumpkin Cheesecake Day. I know, delicious. It's finally fall, so let's get started here with this wonderful recipe. As if pumpkin cheesecake wasn't good enough already, today's recipe is 100% gluten-free. And I know what you're thinking.
Gluten-free.
Isn't cheesecake already gluten-free? Actually, most cheesecake has some flour in it, as well as the graham cracker crust is not gluten-free. But today's is, so let's get started. Here's everything you will need for this cheesecake recipe. We've got some cream cheese, some white sugar, some brown sugar, some sour cream, gluten-free flour, eggs, vanilla, cinnamon, cloves, ginger, and nutmeg, canned pumpkin. And then for our crust, we have some gluten-free cookies and some melted butter. So now's a good time to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees and make sure your oven rack is situated in the middle of the oven. You want it in the dead center or as close to that as possible. Here we have some gluten-free cookies or graham crackers if you can find gluten-free graham crackers. I found these, which are gluten-free vanilla honey graham cookies. And these things, they're all ground up. These things are delicious. I tried one, not gonna lie. So, grind them up till they're a little bit of a powder. You're going to want about a cup to a cup and a half of cookie or graham cracker crumbs and 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter that is melted.
I'm stirring it. I'm spreading it out.
So here we have our prepped springform pan. You do need a springform pan for this recipe, and you're going to want to put a parchment paper circle into the bottom of it. And you're going to want to prepare the outside like it's going into a bain-marie. I have a video on how I prepare this pan. I'll share the link in the description below. So we're gonna put our crust into our pan. And now we're going to press it in. You can just press it onto the bottom, but I like to press the crust up the sides a little bit. Alright, so now you're gonna throw this in your 350 degree oven for about 5 to 7 minutes just to get it a little bit toasted, not much. So while our crust is baking, we are going to make the filling for the pumpkin cheesecake.
Pumpkin cheesecake.
So there are a couple different things that make a cheesecake crack. One is extreme temperature differences. So if your ingredients are cold and warm, and it just doesn't work out so well. So make sure they're all room temperature. And then we don't want to overmix our cake, but we want it to be smooth. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Here we go. We're gonna start with softening up our cream cheese a little bit more. Put this in here. All right, we're going to mix this on low, medium. So now it's been mixing for about 5 to 10 minutes. You want to make sure your cream cheese is super soft and smooth. You don't want to mix this at a high speed because you'll incorporate too much air, and then when you bake it, it's going to fluff up and collapse and you'll end up with that cracky look. And I mean, if that's what you want, go for it. As you can see, no. And now we're gonna add our sugar to this. And once again, at low to medium low speed, you're going to mix it until it's well combined. Good job. Done. Perfect. Scrape down the sides and continue mixing. Now we're going to add our eggs one at a time. You gotta mix it. Keep it low. So now we're going to add our sour cream and our pumpkin. We're going to add 1 can of pure pumpkin, not pumpkin pie mix, just the pumpkin. And mix it on low again, or medium low.
Orange chocolate.
Is everything chocolate for you?
Yummy, yummy orange chocolate.
Mix it again. All right, now we are going to add our vanilla, spices, and our gluten-free flour.
Ready.
I'm using a homemade gluten-free flour blend, but you can also use a store-bought one. One of my favorites is actually Pamela's. And super easy, you can get it on Amazon. And just for you guys, I'll post a link in the description below. All right, so our batter is very well blended, super smooth, but not beaten because you don't want to add air to it. So we're going to pour it into our crust. So then you're going to place this cake in a bain-marie, which is a pan with water in it. This promotes even cooking and a nice constant temperature.
Why hot?
You want it to be hot because it's going into a hot oven, and like I said, we don't want any extreme temperature differences, so this starts the even temperature process. You want it to be hot because it's going into a hot oven, and like I said, we don't want any extreme temperature differences, so this starts the even temperature process. So this cake is going to go into a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes, and then you want to reduce the temperature to 325 degrees for approximately 30 to 40 minutes more until it just barely jiggles when you move it. You don't want to open the door very much, so try to leave it in there as long as possible. Then you're going to want to cool it in the oven with the door just barely cracked for about 1 hour, maybe a little bit more, and then on a rack on the counter until it is completely cool before you put it in the refrigerator, preferably overnight, but it can be for 4 to 6 hours. And then you're ready to serve it up and eat it. So we'll check back with you. Maybe.
Why?
We'll show you when it's done. All right, so this has been chilling overnight, and now we are going to decorate it. You can decorate this however you would like, but we are going to use a little bit of a cream cheese frosting, some cool pearls, and some whipped cream. So let's go. So there it is, our gluten-free pumpkin spice cheesecake. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. If you did, please leave a comment. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that notification bell so that you can see when we post our next video. Have a great day.